Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman save. As you can see, things are kind of underway a little bit weird here. So I actually started doing the episode. I got 10 minutes in and then realized my microphone wasn't actually recording. So I've just yapped for a while. So I'll just basically cover what I'd said already. So since you last left us, we progressed in the Europa League round of 16. We very comfortably beat them, Basel 5-2 at home, so I didn't feel like I needed to come back for that. So we did beat them in the away leg as well, so obviously beat them on aggregate. Since then, we've won all of our league games except a draw against Midtjylland. We're obviously in the championship group. We are looking very good for the league title, 6 points clear with a game in hand, so it's looking very good. Of course, we play Copenhagen last, but we do play them in the league as well. Yeah, it's looking good. So we do have Brighton in the Europa League quarterfinals, so quite a tough draw, but I mean, it's all pretty good teams now, so anyone we'd get would be tough. We've done a little bit of transfer business, so Shea Lacey's potentially on his way out to Nottingham Forest for £2.6 million, and then Keanu Dyer is also going to go to Al Arabi in the summer for £12.75 million. We've also brought in two players on pre-contracts. Ibrahim Sangare will be joining us in the summer. He is a 33-year-old ball-winning midfielder. Lots of caps for his country, for Ivory Coast. Been playing regularly for Nottingham Forest since his move in real life. And then Francisco Trincao is a 31-year-old Portuguese capped right winger. He has been at Man United from a £72 million move in game and just hasn't really kicked on at all. Obviously, formerly of Sporting Lisbon, Wolves, spent time at Barcelona, originally from Braga, so lots of pedigree, but just hasn't really played at Man United. So he joins us on a free as well in the summer. And like I said, I'd got underway with the game and then realized I wasn't actually recording the mic. I can see now it is recording, so at least we're in there. 10 minutes in, nothing happened, so you didn't miss anything. This is the team we're going with, a little bit different in terms of the way we're talking about it, but hey, at least it's happening. Trubin in goal, back four of Grufam, Matama, Slotziger, and Karl. Nyheim and Elliott in midfield. Ekshkabe is out injured, as is Luke Gillum, so they both miss out on this game. Biancheri on the right, Heskey on the left, and then Archer and Hassan coming in for Gillum up top. So yeah, I mean, nothing's really happened so far. Brighton are playing quite a defensive formation, so potentially we have them a little bit scared, I would say, but they are obviously a very good team with a lot of quality, so you'd expect them to do well. But thankfully, I did stop the game before anything happened, and I thought it was going to be perfectly timed. Heskey had an effort, but unfortunately, it does go over and wide. This is a very big Brighton stadium. Is this the real Brighton stadium? Oh, Slotziger went very, very close to scoring there. That is very disappointing. But we do look good. Harvey Elliott is also really taken to his right wings, to his deep line playmaker spot, So he's actually adapted quite well. He's just naturally gifted there now. He can naturally play there now. He's just a very versatile, gifted player, and he's been very, very good. So he's locked into that position. I think when Trincao comes in, he'll be straight in at right wing, right mid, and then obviously I think we'll probably keep Ekshkabe as our starting ball-winning midfielder, and Sangare just be a nice option to have. We are out of contract at this club at the end of the year. Given the fact that we're probably winning the league, I don't see a reason to sign a new deal. We've probably achieved what we can do here. Biancheri cuts in, falls to Elliott, and he finishes his chance brilliantly, just places it in the back of the net. Some poor goalkeeping from the Brighton keeper, but he does well, I guess, to keep it out initially. But Elliott does well to pounce on it, and Harvey Elliott gets the goal. Biancheri gets the assist officially, but it's a deflected shot, and it's a good following by Elliott. Calm, collected. Harvey Elliott gets it in, 1-0, and we're looking good. We are looking good. I was obviously saying in the recording that we'll never see the light of day, because obviously the mic wasn't on. We did play these earlier in the season. I think we potentially did it on camera as well. We don't need to make any changes. Things are going well. Yeah, we did play these earlier in the season, and obviously we got beat 3-2, but it was quite a late result. So I am thinking we have a chance here. This formation clearly isn't working too well for them. They got Barco as a complete wing back. Matoma, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd setup from them. It's obviously not working out for them too much because they've barely created anything. Heskey's picked up a yellow card. Let's not do anything daft. Let's get Griffiths on for him. Harvey Elliott's look really tired, so we'll bring Keanu Dyer on there. Swap those two round. And we'll put Groot Farm in at left back, bring Haruna in at right back, and that will be 3 changes just to keep us nice and fit, because we need to keep running after every ball and making sure we are after every little thing. Currently 1-0. I would take a draw going into the second leg at home, very much so. But if we can go in with a win, leading the game, that would be even better. But we have to keep working hard for it. Good ball over the top. Lots of players in the box for Brighton. Swinged into Minter at the back stick, but thankfully Trubin does well to look after it, make sure he collects it really well, and we will launch it up. Brighton playing lots of players up, but they do win the ball back in midfield and can come counter on as a Minter looks for an option, finds Barco, who finds back to the Brighton player, and they've just run really well, and we've not done well there. We didn't cover ourselves in glory defensively there. Too many players just standing with their man, and they've just played it really well. Good movement from Brighton. They do get themselves back in it. 1-1 as it stands, and potentially these substitutes have made us a little bit worse. Not really what you want to see. We will make another set of subs, though. We'll bring Glenn Rash on. And bring... Nah, we won't bring Poulsen on. He's probably not good enough. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Glenn Rash can come on. Rest of the boys can stay as they are. I think we've done okay, though. Like I say, a draw. We've probably had the more chances. Very poor from Hassan, really have to say. 6.3. We're going to just hook him for the last few minutes. Bring Poulsen on. You never know. He could do something. Let's just swap him around as well. Let's play Cameron Archer as the advanced forward now that he's tired. Yeah, bit poor from us. But, very bit poor from Hassan anyway, specifically. But we've done okay, I think. A draw is not a bad result to take into the second leg. I was saying there is a game against Brøndby in the middle of these two, which we will play off camera. But like I say, the league is going very well. I would expect us to wrap it up with games to spare, but you never know. Brighton getting themselves down the left-hand side, swung into the back stick. Haruna tries to clear. I mean, that is very, very, very dodgy. He went just wide of the post. I thought Trubin was just going to collect it, but he lets it go past him. Thankfully, it also went past the post, and it is a 1-1 draw, which, like I say, I think is more than okay. And I think we were probably the better team anyway. So we'll take that into the second leg and hopefully try and get a result. We are going to play the Brøndby game off camera, and we'll come back for that second leg against Brighton. So for our second game of the episode, we have got the home leg. So we go into this 1-1 against Brighton. This is all, comes down basically to this game. The first leg basically means nothing. It's like coming into it. In the weekend fixture, we did draw 0-0 with Brøndby. So not exactly scoring for fun. Hassan, clearly not really that good playing there. So actually what I'm thinking I'm going to do is swap them round and play Archer as the advanced forward, who, to be fair to him, for as good as he is, hasn't been scoring that many, just 2 goals in 17. Now, he does play as the pressing forward, which potentially limits him. So I'm going to give him a run as the advanced forward and see how he goes on. Rest of the team remains the same. Heskey, Biancheri, Elliot, Nyheim, Karl, Schlosinger. Fischer actually comes in at centre-back because Matima has a bit of a knock, so he's going to miss out. And then Groot Farm and Trubin in goal. I would say for Groot Farm as well, for as good as he is, as good as his player is and how much he's rated, he's another one who just doesn't seem to get great ratings. So I don't know what's going on with him. But yeah, he just doesn't seem to get great ratings. But I'm not too worried about it. He's a good player. I know he's a good player. So we need to just hopefully kick on. And big fixture here. Schlosinger gets it clear from the corner. Obviously, Brighton do need to do more than they did in the last game, as it was just a 1-1 draw. Good interception by Groot Farm. Nyheim into Elliot, into Groot Farm with space to move into, plays it to Biancheri. Lots of Brighton players in front of him. Tries to cut inside, loses out, and that's just the lack of quality that we have versus the quality they have, because they wouldn't make that mistake, and they're not going to make that mistake as Barco comes forward, plays the ball into Matoma into feet. And thankfully, Matoma's shot is well saved by Trubin, who had a little bit of a rocky start when he first came in, but since then he's been regularly, he's been quite good. So quite happy with him. Does well again to get up for the header, claims it comfortably, and keeps it in his grasp. 0-0, and basically it only comes down to today's game, so we're not even going to talk about the aggregate score. 0-0. We need to see more from Hassan. We need to see a goal from somewhere. Not had a great start to this game. It's a little bit of a tight affair, a little bit nervy, 20 minutes in. Not too many chances, and the chances that have come have come the way of Brighton. I am worried about us playing Nyheim as a ball winner. He's not really much of a ball winner, so that does make us a little bit more vulnerable. Obviously, Fisher has been a centre-back for us for quite some time, but recently, since we signed Slotziger, he's been a little bit more on the outs, but he's still a decent centre-back. So, but he is someone I think we improved on by getting Slotziger in, but obviously Matsima misses out, so he's had to come back in. Not looking like we're doing too much. Heskey and Biancheri not really, kind of struggling a little bit, and I can see why, because obviously they have some quite good quality defenders. Kadiolu trying to get the ball forward is forced back though from the press, but they are of course a team of good quality. They can play out from the press, and we're not pressing too hard. Hassan not really doing his job as a pressing forward. Archer's still the one seems to be doing most of the running, which is a little bit disappointing. João Pedro plays it up, and they are overloading on the wingers here. And João Pedro's played in. I thought he might have just been offside, but the flag hasn't gone up. VAR hasn't been checked, and João Pedro does put Brighton 1-0 up on the night, which would put them through to the semi-finals. And I think with the teams left in it, we are the weakest of the 8, so it's not a shock. It's no shame to go out to a Brighton. They're obviously a Premier League side, better side than us. But I think we've probably not done enough today to justify getting anything out of it. So we will make a change. Luke Gillam's not really fit to play. Not seen much of the wingers, but I just don't have any faith on the ones to come in and to do much of a difference, to be honest. If we go 2-0 down, then we'll obviously just take the gamble and bring them on. But I think while it stays as it is, there we go. Right, gamble is being taken. So Heskey's going to move on to the right. Glenn Rash can come on the left, and he's had to play on the right a lot, Glenn Rash. So I feel a little bit bad for him, but hopefully he can come on and do something here. He's not really done much since he's come back. He's had 2 very good loan spells. Has Glenn Rash scored plenty, good average rating, but since he's come back for us, which doesn't seem to be the same ilk of player. Hassan plays it back out to Elliott, who finds Glenn Rash, who tries to have an effort. It doesn't go past the Brighton players, and we've had to get caught on the counter, almost got caught on the counter, but thankfully some good defending from us. Into Nyheim, the captain, back to Fisher, who we've clearly missed Matsima from these set plays. Hassan into Groot Farm. We need to see a bit more from him. Groot Farm does well, plays it in. Hassan, man, he's 2 yards out, and he misses. It's straight at the goalkeeper, and it's another wasted chance, and we're not going to get many more. At least we're getting a chance into the box, but that was poor from us. Heskey is not having a great game, so we'll potentially take him off after this highlight, see what happens here. But we're getting caught out a lot down the wing, just defending not in numbers and not in quality either. We're just getting overloaded with the system they're playing, and the players aren't coming across to cover, which is a shame. Oh, Mitoma scores. It's 3-0. It's over. Our Europa League dreams are dashed. We will make a change. We'll bring Shea Lacey on. Why not? Don't really have any midfielders. I'd like to take them off, but we don't really have anyone. We'll move Groot Farm onto the left. Carl's really tired. We'll bring Haruna on. Let's bring Christian Poulsen on as well. Hassan's been rubbish as usual. And I guess we'll bring Kanagard on. He doesn't really make much difference. Very poor from us, but Brighton are a good side. It's no big shame to go out to Brighton, is it? But it's just the way that it is. I thought we did well in the first leg, but we just haven't done well enough today. Probably missed a couple of our key players, Matsima, Exchabe, and maybe Gillam as well. If you have those 3, potentially it's a different story. But yeah, not to be today, unfortunately. It's not over just yet, but this would be mad stuff if we could get back into it. Poulsen picks it up. Oh, it's a 1-on-1 and he's put it wide. He's taken it off Lacey and then put it wide. I mean, what more can I do? I don't think the way we're playing is wrong. I just think the quality of players is not up to Brighton's standard, and we've been found out. Basically, they've played all their first teamers, and we've just not been up to it. We've just not been good enough. They've been much better today. They've taken all their chances. We've had 10 shots. Only one of them has been on target. That just shows you They're very poor lacking of quality. And to be honest with you, if someone comes in with a big bid for Archer, he's the kind of player I would sell because he just doesn't score enough to be worth how much we're paying him. He's the highest paid player at the club, I believe. And he just doesn't seem to score much. Glenn Rash whips it in. Cameron Archer. See what I mean? See what I mean? Header, free header, basically, hits the bar. And that's poor. Group Farm, the only one who got a decent rating. Poor from everyone else. We are, unfortunately, out of the Europa League now, but we've done well. I think quarterfinals, I think that's a good run for us. Inter Milan, Roma, and Villarreal were left, so probably was unlikely we were going to go on to win it anyway, but you never know. But yeah, poor from us. We get obviously a little bit of money. What is that there? A little bit of money from getting there, but it is what it is. But now we can focus on the league. We are still in the cup as well, so we've got a cup potentially as well to go with. So what do we do? What do we come back for? Because realistically, we are pretty far away going to win the league. 8 points clear with a game in hand. I don't think we've already got to a cup final before, so I don't think we need to come back for that. I think we come back when we could mathematically win the league. I think that makes sense. So that's what we'll come back for, when we could potentially win the league, which I'll need to work out when that would be. But at the minute, there's still a cup game. So what are we? 3, 6, 9 points with an extra game. If we win, probably get up to the Aalborg games, probably somewhere around there when we could potentially win it. Granted, we win the game, so I don't know. But that's probably where we'll come back for, where we could potentially wrap up the league title because, like I say, we've done very, very well this season to be in there. So, unfortunately, the Europa League run is over, but we still potentially have a double on the Cup and the League. We'll obviously show you the League, the Cup final if we get there. So we will play these for at least off camera. Potentially back for Midtjylland Aalborg, maybe a little bit later, but just whenever we could wrap up the League. If we can't wrap up the League mathematically, then I guess we'll just come back for the last 2 games of the season. But we should know. We should be in a title, some sort of end of season title wrap up thing next episode. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the European Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.